Oh, we're gonna go there after we leave the nail salon. When you pay for my nails, we'll just go there.
A black woman asked her first date to meet her at a nail salon and pay her $500 bill. The man cleverly retaliated against her. The two met through a dating app and agreed to meet in person for the first time. The man said he followed the location she sent him, expecting a cafe or a public place, but he was surprised when he arrived and saw it was a nail salon. According to his account, the woman immediately told him that if he paid her $500 beauty bill, she would take him back to her home afterward. He said he already felt uncomfortable with the setup and began regretting the date, especially after noticing a bandage on her knee that made him question the entire situation. Still, he did not directly turn her down. Instead, he pretended to agree to her request and even encouraged her to add more services. As a result, the bill increased to nearly $1,000. Salon staff said the man waited until the service was almost done, then quietly left the building, got in his car, and drove away. The woman reportedly became upset when she learned he had disappeared and that she was responsible for the full bill. Some people argue the man should have been honest and declined the request instead of misleading her. Others believe he avoided being taken advantage of, saying she set up the date with the expectation he would pay for unrelated beauty services. Do you think the man handled the situation correctly?
I think you absolutely handled the situation correctly. I think it's a weird question where people are saying that he should have been honest with her when he was already trying to scam him. I think we try to put too much onus on men to just simply sit there and sort of take the brunt of whatever is given to you, especially if it's by a woman. We just, hey, you're supposed to take that. You're supposed to eat that. Charge it to the game. Go there, realize you wasted your time, the drive, the effort, the communication, your energy, and just simply say, oh, okay, listen, I'm not really interested, and let me leave. Either way, we both know he was going to be called broke, right? Because if you refuse the 500, if you refuse to, even if you ran up to the 1,000, he's going to be called names, he's going to be called brokey, all the same. We're all familiar with that game, right? But this is the reason I think most people, at least in the comment section, most people really enjoy that is because it's the same phenomena you see online when men don't really get enough chances to feel vindicated. They tend to take victory laps when it does happen. Before we get into this, do a deeper dive into this, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. We're still here doing 2 a day, getting together, making sure we can pay this rent. So one of the things, reason I saw this, and I've got to put the disclaimer, even if it is satire, right? Even if it's not real, men like to see it because it feels like finally some of these tables are turning. The pendulum is swinging back the other way. It's the same phenomenon when women are, saying that men aren't approaching. Where are the men? Why are they not approaching us? Or we can't simply find the men. We're the good men. There's a certain part of a schadenfreude where we feel like finally you get to feel what it's like. You get to feel that, hey, it's not fun when the rabbit has the gun. And I get that. I do. And I'm not trying to be one of the people who say, hey, take the higher road. I'm not Michelle Obama. When they go low, we go high. Sometimes you got to go lower. Right? I'm realistic. I'm from New York. That's kind of part and parcel of what we do here. But we need to understand where it's coming from. And we're going to step away from this incident, this video, because it doesn't really fit the parameter we're trying to get across here. What's important is when you treat people, right? You treat people like they're actual people, not like they're just a wallet or a means to an end. Even when she essentially is propositioning him, say, the bill is $500. I think that rate is worth it for me. Pay this and we can go straight home. We can just go straight home and do that. When you look at people as just a commodity, you lose the humanity in that. When that happens on an individual scale, we say, oh, that's terrible. That shouldn't have happened. It's an isolated case. But when it starts happening socially, when men only become valued by what they could bring or what they could alleviate from you, then I think we have a greater problem at hand. And of course, we'll talk about the easy solution is just simply individually, you have to do better when you communicate with people. Genderless advice. When you look at men, women, treat them as men and women, treat them as human with flaws and all. But when we get to a point of just looking at people for a singular use, be that men looking at women just for their bodies, their physical stature, how much pleasure they can bring them, you start losing that humanity. And women have complained about that time and time again. Same thing, I think men are becoming on the pendulum swinging the other side, are saying, if you're just using me or viewing me for what I could produce, for what I could sacrifice, you're going to get the same pushback that women gave men. Except when men push back, it tends to be viewed horribly. It tends to be painting men in a horrible light because of the fear of the physical, the difference in the physicality. Um, when we give women this you know benefit of the doubt and saying, okay, you could be upset, but what could really happen from that? Well, we know the other side, and of course, we're not painting a wide brush and saying this is all men, this is all women. Point is, treat people exactly how you would want to be treated. You wouldn't want someone to come up, show up, and then demand they pay or try to weasel out of paying some bill and saying, we'll just do this. If that's what you wanted from Jump Street, then that's what you should have indicated beforehand. Hey, I'm in a bind. Pay me this and we can go have sex. We can go right to the spot. I think uh he was clever in this sort of sense of running the tab up. I'm very curious of what you could possibly be paying $1,000 at a nail salon for. But I'm not an expert in the fact. This could be a very reasonable thing that most women could say, I can see that bill getting that high. It's not me, it's not me, it's not me. I don't get it. So look, if you have the opportunity, men, if you have the opportunity to do something like this, please enjoy it. But just don't go too far. Don't do too much. There was I want to say maybe a year or two ago, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, where a man was habitually taking women out and leaving them with the bill. And it got to the point where authorities got involved. We can see the hypocrisy of that, right? When when it's something that women do, we just look at it and say, that's par for the course, that's supposed to happen, that's normal behavior. Men do it, it's very different. And that double standard isn't really going anywhere. Um, Even in something that I think looks obvious in this case, like, hey, you just did 500, you should double that, double that and give it to the next guy. But waiting for her to add on more services and then quietly slipping out, I think that's elegant. I think that's clever, but there's going to be a large swath of people that do not agree and think that he should have done the honorable thing. But men, know that the expectation for you to take it on the chin is still there. Pause. They're still expecting you to suffer, still expecting you to sacrifice your time, your energy, your money, make their lives easier. And I think there are women, but when they become actually intrinsic to your life, when they have value in your life, we don't mind doing that. It's not a dig and say, don't ever provide, don't ever do this. But protection and provision need to be, and I think men understand this with protection very easily from the older videos, but protection and provision need to first be qualified by someone that is important to you and close to you, not someone that you were texting and you agreed to go meet, at the nail salon to get these services done. But listen, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see videos on your screen, take a look at those. And if you haven't subscribed yet, while you made it to the end of this video, you should subscribe, come with me, and we'll go pay the rent.